Hello, my lovely humans. What is up? It's your girl, Kirsten. I have not been on YouTube in a minute, and I'm so excited to be back. We're going to be chatting about PCOS and insulin resistance in today's video and how you can help cure your insulin resistance and help manage your PCOS. Just wanted to chat about today's sponsor, Odd Bunch Produce. They are a produce company in Canada that specializes in taking produce that might not look the prettiest and repurposing it into a weekly subscription box that is delicious, fun, and makes cooking super easy. They send it to your doorstep every single week. It's extremely easy to cancel, and it's only $20 for the small box. I was able to make 9 meals and snacks with it. I truly believe in sustainability and affordability, and that is something that Odd Bunch also stands behind. Good for you, good for the planet, and good for your wallet. Feel free to check them out. You can use my code Kirsten to save 25% off your first order until August 31st. After that, it will be 20% off. You guys can also click the link in my bio. Let's dive right into the video. So a few tips for PCOS and insulin resistance. The first is fiber. Fiber is super important, and you can find it in a variety of fruits and vegetables like leafy greens, as well as berries. The really cool thing about Odd Bunch is they usually have these items in their weekly subscription box, so it makes it incredibly easy to be able to take the items that are coming and be able to incorporate them into your nutrition routine, making it one less thing that you have to worry about. You can also obviously go to the grocery store and pick out different fruits and vegetables that are high in fiber, along with different food items that are also high in fiber. They make really great bread that's high in fiber, like carbonate. It doesn't taste outstanding, but it does help you get your fiber in. Fiber One bars are awesome. You can also get them through other whole food sources as well. Number 2, apple cider vinegar has been my tried and true from the beginning of losing weight, just because there's some data to support that helps manage your sugar levels, especially if you're having something that's higher on carbohydrates. So sometimes I like to eat food, especially carbs, and go out to eat with friends and family. I will take 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar before my meal, and I'll do it about 15 minutes before with water and with a straw because we want to protect our animal. And then I will go eat my meal, and then I will track my sugars afterwards because I like to be mindful of that. And the spike difference is actually crazy. Like, I've done a lot of comparisons with similar food items, different days, and using apple cider vinegar and then not. And every single time using apple cider vinegar significantly changes how much of a spike that I would normally have when eating higher carbohydrate meals. Number 3, you guys probably already know this, but protein is so extremely important. It helps preserve muscle mass. It also helps to keep you full longer. It increases your satiety when you're eating, which means that you're not going to be hungry 30 minutes after you just eat a meal. Trying to limit processed and refined carbohydrates is important while increasing your protein intake. This does not mean that you have to be on a low carb diet, because you want to create something that's sustainable for your lifestyle. And a lot of the time, low carb is great short term, but long term, we can't really sustain that type of meal plan. It's just the reality of it. Some people are great on keto, some people are great on low carb, and that's amazing. But my big thing is sustainability and ensuring that you can manage doing this lifestyle long term so you don't lose the weight and then immediately gain it right back. You will also notice that people who are on low carb will lose weight really quick, and that is just purely due to the fact that carbohydrates retain more water. So when you start going into a low carb ketogenic diet, you will start to shed weight on the scale, but it is not necessarily fat. So people can get really wound up. And then when you're going and transitioning from being on low carb to not low carb, you're going to gain a decent amount of weight pretty quick. And that is just water retention. And that's one of the reasons I don't love a low carb diet, but I love a moderation carb diet. Number 4, Ovasitol is literally one of my tried and true products. It literally brought back my periods to being regular, and it helps with satiety, bloating and just making me feel better overall. It is also one of the most studied PCOS supplements on the markets. This is not sponsored by Ovasitol. I just really genuinely enjoy their products. You can also look for inositol, which is essentially similar to Ovasitol. They just have a different formulation, and it's sometimes a bit more affordable as well, and is also very good for PCOS. The biggest thing when you have insulin resistance is ensuring that you're trying to keep your sugars in control, because insulin resistance usually is before becoming pre-diabetic and can pair with people having PCOS or diabetes. So it is important to know that if you can get your sugars in control, then you're going to have the results that you're looking for. Your cortisol should be the highest when you wake up in the morning and should be the lowest when you're going to bed. If your cortisol is too high going to bed, you are going to have really crappy sleeps. You're not going to feel outstanding, and it's just going to be difficult overall for you to feel rested. Number 5 and last one, magnesium. Magnesium is a supplement that most North Americans are deficient in, both magnesium and iron, especially in women. And it is something, magnesium glycinate has helped me go to sleep easier, helped me have better recovery, and helped me feel better overall. Losing weight with PCOS and insulin resistance is as much as calories in, calories out. There's more things we need to do to lose weight. It does make it a little bit more difficult for us as well, but it does not make it impossible to do it naturally. You do not necessarily need a GLP-1 to find success on your natural weight loss journey with PCOS or insulin resistance. There is nothing wrong, and I'm not going to judge people who take GLP-1s. I just think if you are able to try to incorporate the tips that I mentioned through whole foods and training, I guess that's another thing that I didn't mention. When you're looking to train, you want to try to do things that avoid big spikes in your sugar levels, which can be done by high intensity interval training. So I try to stick with things, as you guys know, I'm an IPF powerlifter, things that are a little bit less stress in regards to intensity to that degree, where it's quick bursts of energy. So I love strength training. I love Pilates. I also am a Pilates instructor. I love anything that kind of just makes me feel a little bit more zen. So Pilates, yoga, those types of vibes, you do not need to do those. Strength training is incredible and has so many wonderful benefits. And I always say you should strength train and add an addition of, if you want, Pilates, yoga, stretching, meditation, but not necessary by any means. And you don't need to train 6 days a week to lose weight. You just need to have a consistent routine that you can show up for. If that's 2 or 3 days a week, that's better than nothing. And when losing weight, I try to remind myself, okay, I need to do something, because something, like I said, is better than nothing. And at the end of the day, you just need to show up for yourself. And I just want to say thank you once again to Odd Bunch Produce for sponsoring this video. They take food that normally is super expensive and they really just make it affordable for people. And the sustainability with the environment is huge. And those are two things, like I said, I stand behind. And if it can make eating healthier foods, whole foods, easier for people and more affordable, I want to share that with you guys. As always, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. There's so much hate in the world. None is needed here. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you guys have any questions at all that I can answer for you, please do not hesitate to reach out and ask them. That's why I'm here. Bye.